Hi everyone, my name is Sherry Jacobs and I'll be your professor for ECED 4033 content reading. This is one of my favorite classes and I'm very excited to see that there are quite a few of you on the roster that I've worked with in the past, and I'm looking forward to working with you again and getting to know those of you who I have not met yet. So it's always a good idea to start off with looking at the syllabus together. As always, here are the different standards that relate to our class. One of the things that people tend to get mixed up is the Ohio standards for the teaching profession, especially when they're doing a submission for chalk and wire. So remember, we have the standards for students. But when we're looking at that reflection piece for chalk and wire, we're typically talking here about the standards for the teaching profession. So kind of keep that in mind. The institutional goals are the same as any other class. Here are the texts that you will need for this class. I will tell you starting off right now that especially these two bottom ones, the Allen flip charts, are amazing books. I think that the text is as well, but these charts have instructional strategies that you use for content literacy that I sure wish I had had starting out as a young teacher. So I'm excited that you'll have those to keep in your teacher toolkit. So this is just, again, the same sort of thing that you're going to see in every class. We're looking at the long-term assignments now. We have a strategy presentation, an annotated bibliography. We actually have two strategy presentations. They're for weeks 4 and 6. Then we have an annotated bibliography. I'm not going to go through and read all that to you because you're perfectly capable of doing that for yourself. Here's a dyslexia assignment that's sort of like a lesson plan, but in a different kind of format than you've done. We will talk about this more, and there's a special video that you will see for this assignment for dyslexia. The dyslexia assignment will be due not just on Moodle, but on chalk and wire as well. You'll have discussion forums most every week, if not every week. You'll be responding to one classmate at least. I know in some classes it's 2, in this class it's 1. And the online instructional week begins on Monday at 12 a.m. and ends on Saturday at midnight. Now, it doesn't mean you can't work on your course on Sundays. I'm just saying that this is how, being a Christian university, we have things set up. And although I'm usually able to respond to you on Sundays, know that that I'm more likely to respond when it's not a Sunday. I always, even on Sundays, check my email at least once. So we do have a forum rubric, and I want you to get it out and look at it very carefully as you do your post. I feel it's important enough that I have that forum rubric in every week of your class. So please look at that. Your initial post is due on Wednesday and your response post on Saturday. And you do have a final exam. And the online class attendance policy is the same as for any other class. For an 8-week class, you cannot miss more than twice, or it's an automatic failure. I hate to use that word, but I don't think there's a better one. Late work, again, it's the same as for every course. It's 10% of the total possible for any assignment for each day the work is late. Now, many of you are adults that are working, raising children, and I know sometimes life just happens and it's really difficult at times when people are sick or wind up in the hospital. Please email me if something really important like that happens. Not just, oh, I had a busy week at work, because unfortunately we have to work around those things. But please let me know if something special has happened in your life so that we can make some adjustments on that. Do know, though, that nothing can be turned in past the last day of class at midnight, which is for us July 31st. We do have 2 break weeks in this class, and I've already listed those in the email that I sent to each of you. Office hours, you can reach me by email, and I can arrange real-time chat if we need that at a time that's convenient for both of us. I know most things that we're able to get taken care of just online emailing, but if the need exists, I will certainly be glad to have a discussion with you about that. So this is just a list of our long-term assignments. And this is what happens each week. Now, we talked a lot about doing the strategy presentations. We have one on week 4 and one on week 6. This is a list. This list has come from your tools and more tools flip charts by Alan that are part of your text. And this is where the pre-reading strategies are. And you can use these, you can look on your flip chart, and we'll talk a little bit more when we get over to the Moodle site itself. I have a list of strategies that you sign up for there to do for your presentations. So continuing to go through, here are the during reading strategies, and here are the post-reading strategies. I strive to make sure that everything matches. I will tell you that sometimes it just happens that things get changed, and every now and then it is, it's just something that I don't have any control over. Or I do make mistakes, as all of us do. But you will find that I try really hard to make them mesh. If you see something different in your assignments than what is listed on Moodle or in an email, please do not hesitate to contact me, and we will sort that out. We always have announcements here and ask the instructor or professor. Now, it's really easier, quite frankly, to reach me by asking me through an email, because I check that a lot more often. I have to have my laptop with me to be able to check the Ask the Instructor section. So either way is fine, though, especially if it's something that needs to be seen by everyone. It's a great idea to do it that way. So we're going to go back. I mentioned briefly when we looked at the syllabus that there would be a sign-up sheet for dyslexia strategy assignment. So if you look here, I have a list of different topics that you can use. And I tell you, like Subjects Matter, which is our textbook, if there is mention and an explanation, for example, if you chose Turn and Talk, you'll find it on page 184 in Subjects Matters, and you'll find it it is a during the reading activity. And so if you choose that, you'll just come right over here. This is a Google Doc. You'll put your name in it. When you see someone else's name on there, that one's taken. You'll have to move on to another one, even if it's your second or third favorite. So that's why I encourage people to sign up right away this week, this first week of class, and get that done, even though this assignment is not due until week 5. So you'll see if it's dramatic role play, it's on page 110 of Subjects Matters, and it's a pre and a post. So this is a tool that will change. I also have the same one down on week 5 so that you'll see it right there handy too. Okay, so I'm just going to go over briefly with you how the course is set up. Week 1 is really focusing on organizing texts, students in classrooms for students to learn to read for information. And really, that's what this course is. You might have asked yourself, why am I taking a course called content reading? And it's because our Ohio Learning Standards have reading through every standard. So even if you're teaching just the content area, such as science or math, you still are reading teachers. Okay. And this will be where I have this. I've changed this. I've changed this video because a couple of things are a little different. But this is the link that you just saw me click on is, of course, the link that you will be going to. Now I'm having a hard time getting out of that. Let's see here. Oh, it would open up into a new window, I think. Let's see. We'll figure that out, right? Yep. Okay. All right. So you'll find each week we start out with a resource section and assignment section. You need to go through and do all of the resources before beginning any of your assignments, because obviously that's where you're going to find what you need to have and what you need to learn to be able to complete those assignments. I would start out then with the objectives for the week. And the learning outcomes, the assignments for the week, the form rubric, as I told you, is on every week. I'm just going to touch upon that just a little bit. Oops, sorry about that. We'll go down here to downloads and pick it up. So I want you to notice that this rubric is very specific. You have to make sure that you use APA guidelines. It needs to be in the 250 to 500 count word range for your initial post. And I love how close my classes get to each other and really enjoy reading each other's things. But in these forums, I want you to stick to scholarly writing, not so much about I like how or have a great week, that kind of thing. So there's synthesizing the concepts and principles. This is why the word count is important, because without a good word count, you're not really able to synthesize those concepts and principles and talk about how you can apply them and give examples of them, which are part of the rubric. Everything has to have APA citation and the reference thereof. And the writing has to be really clear, concise, with grammar and spelling that somebody can understand it. When you respond to a classmate, you need to have it addressed within 150 to 250 words. And I'm not going to, again, go through and read all of this to you because you're perfectly able to do that on your own. Okay, so, sorry about that, I have EDTPA list down here. Let's look. So you'll have your PowerPoint presentation each week. Move that just a little bit more. And the PowerPoint presentation will have on it places where you're going to have to respond to what you see and what you read on the PowerPoint. So here's week 1. You'll see what I'm talking about here. Here's our objectives, definition for what you think reading is, and so on. So you notice here it says, what do you do as you read? It's asking you to write a list of strategies that you used as you read, and then you post them to week 1 of Moodle under the topic strategies I used. There's at least one thing always in the PowerPoint that will lead to the rest of your assignments. So you'll notice that leads directly to your Forum 1-1 strategy you used as you read. This is due by Wednesday at midnight, and Saturday is the response post for the latest. So then I have a few PowerPoints thrown in here. I have, no, sorry about that. Yeah, this is a PowerPoint. It's just, it's an article actually. This is a very good article. It's on reading comprehension. So let me get out of that. I have this, I have my lines for Screencast-O-Matic in the wrong place, so it's hard for me to get to that. And then I also have one for children understanding how to use informational text. I don't know about you, but I know when I was in school, nobody explained to me the difference between fiction and nonfiction, other than knowing that fiction was something that was made up and nonfiction was something that was not made up. But nobody explained to me how the text structure is so much different. And a lot of what you're going to learn in this course is how to use text structure to help your students navigate informational text. So here is the forum that we have already discussed. This is your definition of reading. And again, this needs to be linked, even though this is not a forum post, it's due by midnight. You'll notice the directions clearly say, link your post to research using APA formatting. And finally, here's another one where you're going to be talking about schema theory. And you're answering a 2-part question. What is a schema theory and why is it important? Each is worth 5 points. And again, you need to link it to research and APA formatting. So that's pretty much it for week 1. Every week is set up just like this. It's really pretty simplistic the way it's going. So, but if you have any questions at any week, please don't hesitate to contact me. I would rather you ask and put your mind at ease than having not done so. I look forward to working with all of you, and I hope you have a great first week.